Item Number: SCP-2888. Level 2 Restricted. Containment Class: Safe. Secondary Class: Runs Red. Disruption Class: VLAM. Risk Class: Notice. Special Containment Procedures. With proper approval from Site-898 Security, SCP-2888 can be carried via its cage by personnel for use during patrols or maintenance work. When not in use, SCP-2888's cage is hung within Site-898's subterranean containment wing, adjacent to the primary security checkpoint. Footnote 1. Runs Red class anomalies are handled on a case-by-case basis by Site-898. From this vantage point, SCP-2888 can function as an early warning system for the containment wing. Description: SCP-2888 is the designation for the corpses of approximately 18 domestic canaries. These remains, in various states of decay, are amalgamated together. This has resulted in a tangle of beaks, wings, and claws. In places where feathers have rotted away, it can be seen that a large portion of SCP-2888's bones are broken. A spur of iron slag is embedded in SCP-2888's central mass. It is believed that SCP-2888 manifested from SCP-8987 early on in the Summit Anthracite mining operation. Footnote 2. A front company for Marshall Carter and Dark, operating within the Red Brook mine. As its existence was first indicated within the mine's documentation. See Discovery for further detail. SCP-2888 displays predictive qualities, capable of detecting any and all imminent threats to the lives of those around it. Footnote 3. Radius unclear, though typically within the surrounding 20 meters. Though the manner in which SCP-2888 determines danger is unclear, it is reacted to the presence of toxic gases, critically low oxygen levels, aggressive predatory animals, structural collapse, imminent containment breaches. Upon the detection of a threat, SCP-2888 enters what has been deemed its warning state, and spontaneously reanimates. Once reanimated, SCP-2888 will gather its mass into a shape similar to the posture of a frilled canary. Footnote 4. A domestic breed of canary characterized by a hunched back, stiff legs, and long neck. In order to do so, it will attempt to force all of its wings onto its back via the bars of its cage. It will similarly try to force all limbs towards its underbelly, and all heads near its neck. These actions typically result in further mutation to the fracture of its own bones, but are generally successful in shifting the remains to this configuration. Its head will not include any of the heads from the remains. Instead, its elongated neck often ends in a fleshy nodule, pierced by the iron spur. All corpses that make up SCP-2888 display individual life, resulting in the anomaly having difficulty with cohesive movement and navigation. Upon resumption of life, SCP-2888 displays behaviors typical of its species, and will begin to sing. The birdsong is non-anomalous, but louder than typical canaries due to all 18 remains singing together. SCP-2888 will sing for the full duration of its warning state. SCP-2888's warning state will conclude once the threat has passed, resulting in its form losing shape and collapsing into its prior state. This will result in the immediate cessation of its life. Discovery. Initially, SCP-2888's existence was only testified to in documentation from the Summit Anthracite operation that was recovered during the late stages of Investigation Red Canary. What is believed to be the first mention comes from a miner's testimony. Attached below is a transcript of the relevant section.
Rothlands is still babbling about the birds. Ever since we buried the last of them. Ever since Keshner denied shipping in more due to some bull about expenses. We didn't have the canaries anymore, but Rothlands keeps saying he hears them. Hears them in the night when the coyotes start howling, or down in the mine when the air goes foul. Apparently he's not the only one either. I kept asking him, "Now you're sure you're not just hearing the yellow bellies in the swamp?" And every time he shakes his head, says he knows the canary's song. Now, I thought being haunted by birds of all things was ridiculous, but people were getting antsy. So me and some folks hiked towards our dump zone, towards the corner where the swamp starts to creep up to the dirt path. We marked the burial spot with one of the empty cages, so it'd all just be in one spot. It was the corner of the dump, a bit away from the rest of the trash. So we came upon a spot and the air was stinking of death. The cage, though, was gone. There was only a small hole in its place. It was empty. There was dirt splattered all around. I was ready to assume the coyotes got to him, but those claw marks were too small for mutts. Too small and the wrong number. 3 claws, yellow feathers in the muck. They dug themselves back up.
Other specific documentation relating to it included a delivery list, stating that SCP-2888 had been shipped off-site from the Red Brook mine. Footnote 5. The exact location of shipping was not specified on any cargo removed from the mine. Some letters recovered by Investigation Red Canary implied supplies were sent north to New York City. Due to this listing being 2 years prior to Foundation intervention, Red Canary deemed it a dead end. SCP-2888 would be relocated on August 11, 1966, within the Ridge Avenue Farmers Market, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, when an ad regarding it began to circulate in local papers. This ad, describing SCP-2888 as a haunted taxidermy, asked if readers had the bravery to awaken it. MTF Gamma-89, Rock in a Hard Place, would be deployed to acquire SCP-2888 via regular purchase. Due to the presence of char and ash on both the bars of the cage and its bottom, it's believed that the advertiser's attempts to awaken SCP-2888 involved bringing an open flame into its cage to trigger its warning state. Additionally, the original cage that SCP-2888 had been found in featured an engraving on its base that read, Gunstone Auctions, LLC. Investigation into possible connections between this and the Summit Anthracite operation is pending approval. Thank you all for watching, and a special thanks to all my patrons. If you want to help support this channel, go ahead and visit my Patreon for early access to videos, skip recommendations, and other Patreon benefits.